It's October the 18th. I'm Dina, your host, the nuclear proctologist.org. And you can find these videos in Fukushima presentations live throughout the entire friggin' internet. We are very grateful for that distinction. Believe you me, and D, and those. Let me smurf this up a little bit more. I'll get it. There we go. So we got a great stream tonight. All kinds of materials. Incredible amount of material. And we're just making sure the stream is going good. Everything looks fine. Hi, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a busy time. And we're going to get into some of that coming up here in just a little tiny bit. Just make sure all of this is... We'll wind that music down. And a rocker. It's called Evil Street. And that's the street we walk on, unfortunately, is that evil street of nuclear. And if you're not familiar with what that means, you are in for some serious shock. You know, the whole world was generally in the dark, and then radio showed up, and we sat around. We took their word for it. We couldn't afford a TV, and besides, you had to have a license. If you didn't, they come get you. But it was during Japan's infamous atomic bomb attack up on innocent civilians. There were bomb factories and everything else, don't get me wrong, but no different than America or Britain or UK or Ireland or China or Pakistan. It is the way of the world, we're told. And this is the end of the world. We know. We look at Japan, we see Japan as a prosperous, intelligent kids in particular, but there's a hidden culture that we don't understand, that we're not exposed to, even though we're no longer in the dark. And we're not in the dark about Fukushima no more. And we know that these reactors, each of these reactors had 6 reactor cores in them. And that the tsunami ran through that country. It wasn't just a nuclear power plant like you're looking at. The tsunami, the red is people that died from the carnage to your left. And the yellow is the people that are missing. And if you look at the comparison of why those people died, it's hard to imagine that all those nuclear power plants in the same zone for 400 kilometers didn't suffer a similar fate. This is Unit 1. This is caught fire and blew up, and caught fire and blew up, caught fire and blew up some more. This is Unit 2, and allegedly prompted TEVCO to discuss evacuating the workers. Well, most likely this was the reason. The building alongside of it, comparison on the right is number 2. It's still intact, but it's a complete meltdown, and there were 6 reactor cores in the building, not just a reactor core that's running. They store the reactor cores for a decade. And the reactor cores, they change them every year to 18 months, so we're giving them grace by saying 6. There's most likely more reactor cores. But the building on your left is Unit 3. This is 2 million times worse than any current reactor on the planet. 4,500 times worse than all the reactors on the planet. Is a better way to look at it. This is Unit 4. And of course, in Unit 3, everything is gone. The 6 reactor cores that have been there for... And just because they're stored for 10 years don't mean that they're innocuous or benign or innocent or harmless. They're just as bad in 1,000 years as they are when they put them there. In the context of what the damage is they'll do. There's such thing as overkill when it comes to nuclear. I want you to think, though, in this next series of pictures, when we get to them, in about 10 more pictures, I want you to think about, to your very left of that picture, I can bring myself in. Dina, you're always hiding away, Dina, you're never in the video. Yeah, I know, but sometimes sometimes. Okay, I fix it. I fix it now, mister. Hang on, please. Thank you. Tina, you got big ears. Make the ears smaller. Okay, I'll make my ears smaller. There you go. My ears are smaller. Are you happy? Tina, you're in the way. Get out of the way. I'll make myself bigger. Is that a bit better? Gary B. Hello, everybody. Hang on. Bear with me. This is Unit 3 again. In comparison to Unit 2, these are the same size buildings. And the reactor cores are up high at the top of the building, same as the pools with the reactor cores up high. Well, neither one of these buildings are actually in there anymore. This is reactor 3, 2 million times worse, and it's all gone. Everything. Long gone, mister. Long, long gone. I should have had... just one second. I'll find it. I get too much for my own good. There you go. So you can see the reactor core behind me. Straight up over my head. No, Dan, I can't see it. Dan, your head's in the way. My head's not in the way. Okay, right here. It's the reactor core. And this is the pool. Yeah, that's the pool. Yeah. There's other pools down here because this is just a front cutout. All right, I'm going to tell you 500 more times. You don't even have to pay attention. This is TEPCO. Look at the building behind me. This is allegedly inside of the pictures I got there. I've come for the children. That's TEPCO's logo up there. They all got to get that tattooed on their foreheads. Okay. That's not true, Danny. We would have seen it. Okay, it's on their arm. And they're only allowed to wear short-sleeve shirts when they go to TEPCO's office. It's true. I swear. So if you're gullible, you would think that that fuel pool is in this building. I must have myself flipped around or something. Do you think that the pool on your right-hand side is in the one on your left? Now look at the pump truck way over there. I want you to think about that a lot coming up. Trust me. So, halfway point for Fukushima fuel transfer. The World Nuclear News showed you this thing here, saying that it's inside of this building up here. I'll get my bearings in a bit. And I used to sitting in the middle of the screen. Give me a break. I thought it was appropriate, but hey, if you say gullible slowly, sounds like oranges, right? I know. There's a weird damn thing in it. Here's BBC. Look at the beautiful fuel pool. I'm telling you, it's in the building alongside of me. That blew up. I'm just making fun. Go on. Don't have a fit, man. I'm just having a bit of fun. Orange. See, it sounds like gullible no matter how you try it. It's, even when you sneak it out like that. See how the fuel pool over here? You think it's in the building up there? Huh? Do you? Huh? Do you? Do you really? Find it for $1. I should be doing that when I make a fortune. Go out on the street. Do you think that building there is there? They get the answer right, I'd give you $1. It'd be broke in no time. Yeah? Sucker. I can see people yanking the money in my hand now. The tune that's not even worth. And they go. Gullible, find it for $1. Do you think that pool is in the building over here? Huh? If you do, how the hell did you ever get your shoes tied this morning? How did you even get on the internet tonight? Don't mind the mumble I got. I got shit everywhere. This is motherboard. You can see the one motherboard showing what it looks like. I put the pictures on both sides in, but yeah. Okay. It just doesn't make any sense, eh? But people are out there sucking that up. Yes, boy. That's probably true. Now we got the gangsters over at physics.org. They're pointing at you. They're not pointing at anything in there. They're pointing at, look at all the idiots who are going to look at this at physics.org and take it as in that building over there. It's in that building over there. That's what they're telling you. And you can't say nothing because the two gangsters are in the middle, see? Yeah, they look kind of innocent and cute and everything. Look how slanty their friggin' eyes are. Yeah. I seen a show about them before. They're gangsters, trust me. Last but not least, we got Nuclear Engineering International. Says that thing there is inside of the destroyed reactors. I know. What are you going to do about it? But they're not going to show you these people because they're sensitive. Because they got homeless written on the back of their shirts. They're just coming back from walking past number 4. They'll die in about 4 minutes or something. If Seth Dorn was inside of the building like he claims he is, from CBS, he'd be dead. A dead man walking. Now, he wouldn't walk out. He's a dead man. He's still in there. And if Seth is not still in number 4, then he wasn't there, see? Right? It's freaking science, right? Got no science to know that shit, okay? If Seth was inside of that building there, we'd be saying poor Seth. He wouldn't have lost just an arm. He probably put his arm in there. That's why he lost his friggin' arm. Dina. But anyway, enough about number 4. See that red big chummy up there? That red big chummy hanging over? That's the world's biggest cement chummy. Look at it. They flew it on the world's biggest plane. You know why they got that there? They got there to put water in that thing there. You see it up in the top corner up here? See truck? Same truck. There it is over there. See, don't blink, don't wink. There she goes, rock and roll. There we go. Now look in this picture. Where is the truck? Oh, wait a second. Where's the truck? Where's the red pump truck? Wait. What? No red pump truck? I'm a little confused. How come I don't see this pump truck anymore? Because it was show and tell. It was all show and tell. He flew it in the world's biggest plane. Show and tell us all gone. Like Suzuki said, bye-bye, Japan, and should evacuate North America. But see that truck, what are they going to pump it into that roof? That's their official pictures. Those all official pictures. Don't blame me. I didn't cause Japan's reactors. Not my fault. Their fault for putting all these pictures up on TEPCO's website. You can download them from TEPCO's website. In the description box below, there's links to them. Knock your socks off. So, why did they got a pump truck if the fuel pool looks like that? Or the roof looks like that? Anybody? Don't knock yourself over too much. So, if these fuel pools, they're not sure which one, but they're both officially in that building. We're not sure which one. These are the official pictures. They're both in the building above me. Now, these buildings that you see, they don't touch each other. So this is another angle of number 4. And all these people are in there doing the world's most dangerous job, taking out the 1,500 fuel assemblies. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's right. Danny, you're a friggin' conspiracy theorist, Danny. There's no one in here taking out fucking fuel. I never said I said it. That's what TEPCO said. It's true. Latest forecast is all California. Under radiation threat from the Norwegian Institute for Air Research. I'm not from the Norwegian Institute. I don't speak the language, okay? I'm sorry. Apologize for not learning it. I'll get right on it in the morning. But think about why radioactivity is so bad, besides the fact there's 20 million particles in a liter. In a liter. Germany packs it up at 5 in a liter per kilogram. And France done it at 17 becquerels, not 20 million liters. Particles. Particles. Not atoms, but particles. Fissionable product. That's why there was a spike in infant mortality after Fukushima, North America, particularly Canada. We're right under it. It comes right at us. It's here in 45 days by the ocean current, Croatia current. CC-137 forecast showed high altitude radiation cloud all the way to the ocean floor. The width of the Pacific Ocean, the width of North America, the width of the Atlantic, and the width of the European Union. And it never stopped coming out. Norwegian Institute got in a whole lot of shit and said, fuck it, I'm bailing. But not before I give you one more goodie. Now, these models are only based upon 2 days releases, 3 days releases from a single reactor. Not reactor 1 with the roof blown apart. That was a good detonation, by the way. Not reactor 3, but everything missing visibly. Not unit 4. Oh, why would I fall? So about unit 4, they don't like you talking about it. They get all antsy. Previous unpublished map from the government scientists showed Fukushima plume already at the Alaska coast. Yeah, it's just hanging off the coast, fucking the dog. Yeah. Thank God we haven't had any rain for the last couple of years. I cut off the date on that. Twice. Photo eclipse. Oh. An Austrian forecast map showed possible radioactivity east of Los Angeles by March the 18th. Yeah, it's all over Timmy. Cancer takes 10, 20, 30, 40 years to manifest diagnose. There's 1,800 diseases, illnesses, autoimmune deficiencies, injuries that'll show up before the cancer. And 6 times more breast cancer around nuclear power plants. Leukemia for children is up 90% around nuclear power plants within a 15-mile zone. They should be going out to about 50 miles looking for diabetes and Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, heart, liver, lung, respiratory, pituitary, adrenaline issues, because they show up long before cancer. And Francis RSN, now there's 30 million of these 1-ton bags. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I have another. 300 times more radiation released into the atmosphere from burning debris than claimed by the government. Whatever those fucking things are. Government, that is. Fukushima will start burning radioactivity waste. 100,000 becquerels. France was packaging it at 17. Germany at 5 when Fukushima happened. Now like, fuck it. 30 bomb a kilogram. 30 bomb a kilogram. 1 billion pounds of debris, highly radioactive. You do remember the models from earlier, don't you? Where do you think a lot of that radioactive ash fell? Fukushima plant will burn it. There's only the homeless there and the destitute and the immigrants and the people who don't speak the language. Yeah, why don't you take that wheelbarrow over there as they run away from you? Burn it. That's okay, man. Just burn it. Don't stand downwind. You got a nosebleed? Okay, hurry up. You take that wheelbarrow. No, that's what's going on down there. We've lost control. Is the government trying to contaminate every region of Japan by burning radioactive debris? If everyone's contaminated in a relative sense, nobody is. Burn it and pick it up. Dump it in the rivers, lakes, estuaries. They're actually bringing it through all the incinerators throughout the whole country, burning it. This is one of tens of thousands of dumps. Wait for it. Not finished yet. Dina. Oh, Dana, you little troublemaker. You got 500,000 becquerels a kilogram. France was packaging it up at 17 becquerels a kilogram when Fukushima happened. Germany was doing it at 5. 75 miles. Do you think that's not going to get re-liberated? Failure from Fukushima, not that it mattered. Failure from Fukushima causing problems 180 kilometers away. Contaminated the wild vegetables. Blah. Intelligent agencies pressuring researchers to shut their freaking pie holes. Because, hey, trending now, right? That's trendy. Hot particles 400 kilometers from Fukushima is trendy too. With radioactivity of 40 billion becquerels a kilogram. Oh, Jesus. Little kids walking, playing in the mud puddles. They got 400 kilometers of coastline like that, so. That's all covered in radioactive ash, like the same stuff we were just looking at. Came clear, the radiation came further south than we thought, all the way to Tokyo. Tokyo was half a trillion? of the sulfur peroxide hydrogen buckyballs. This is a phenomenon from spraying salt water on the reactors. Nearly 5,000 dummies got. Now, these weren't nuke plant workers. These were immigrants and homeless and destitute. Yeah, that's what they were. Oh, Dan, there's immigrants down. Yeah, you better believe it's down. They don't come back. They don't send money home. That's gallows laugh, by the way. Hey, if you don't think the nuclear is like twisted and totally friggin' out of control, I want you to bear with me and listen to this doozy. Now, he's not lying. This is BBC documentary where they had an accident in Sellafield, UK. What did they do to solve it? They didn't take the 5,000 plant workers. No, they went to the theater and got your loved ones out of the back 2 rows to go to the nuclear plant and get some good old-fashioned X-rays and neutrons and gamma showing. Here we go.
To push the burning fuel through into the back of the reactor.
But the heat had melted the cartridges, so they'd become stuck inside the core. They were forced to use scaffolding poles they'd found nearby to try and push the cartridges out. Radiation was so intense they could only work a few hours. They were running out of firefighters.
The police from the factory had turned up looking for volunteers, and they brought a bus, and they decided the best way to get the volunteers was to go to the cinema and volunteer the back 2 rows at the show to go into the factory to, as it turned out, to help push the fuel rods out of the reactor.
I should have got out of the picture because I'm making all these faces. They took the back 2 rows out of a theater, your friends and families and loved ones, to the nuclear reactor. Not the 5,000 plant workers. Have you ever seen a picture of the plant with people working? Oh, I haven't. I don't know if it actually exists, to tell you the truth. Fukushima. Now, see the video up in the top corner after TEPCO's sheer slump? Should the Globe and Mail bail them out? I'm going to play that because it only got 110 views in 6 hours. I got 20,000 subscribers. They've been censoring the shit out of me. Well, if you don't understand that, look at this one, Japanese brilliant homeless solution, Fukushima Unit 4. Oh, we know that one was going to end up getting censored. 16 hours, an hour later, 212 views. I'll move myself, hang on. You know, you freaking sitting in the middle for a car. I was doing shit, man. I was on shit that time, okay? So, see that? 245 views at 16 hours, an hour later, 212 views. That was on this video. That's a fake Unit 4. That's TEPCO's official picture at the Washington Press Club about 4 months ago. Okay, next one. Not sure. Yeah, 185. Yeah, we got that backward. Okay, so 198 views, top corner, Fukushima fake versus real reactor. And then 2 hours later, it only got 185. Yeah, don't worry about it. Here's the video. It's only 45 seconds long. I'm going to go blurp, 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 blurp.
TEPCO shares have gone down. You're in big trouble now, Abe. Abe is all pissed off because the shares went down 7%. Abe, TEPCO said the nuclear industry is going to bail you out. Don't worry about it. The Globe and Mail is going to sell all kinds of stocks to the suckers throughout Canada. The price of uranium went down for almost 6 years. They still buy it, Abe. The Globe and Mail will sell them, Abe. Look, if you jump, Abe, then we won't have anybody pro-nuclear in government, Abe. You're it. Tell you what, we give you more money, yeah? We give you all kinds of money. You stay. No jumping today, Abe. We can't replace you.
Yeah, they can't replace them. I'm having a cigarette. My cigarettes don't got 7,000 chemicals. So why does the government let you smoke 7,000 chemicals? This is not a question you want to ask. No, Fukushima. Oh, Fukushima. So 2011 was a busy year. You had Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden was killed. Hussein Mubarak was overthrown and then thrown in The Hague, so to speak, on trial. Then he had major strokes and blah, blah, blah. Wasn't going to step down, then he had a major stroke. Gaddafi was killed, the Arab Springs. Remember that? That took over your news feed, yeah? That was earlier, though. But still, it kept going for almost 2 years straight. Gaddafi, going around on a stick. That was brutal. Prince William, he got married, I can't remember. Was that before Fukushima or after? I think that was October. I can't remember. Prince William got married. English riots. And Apple co-founder Steve Jobs. You had Kim Jong-il died. You had the crisis in Greece. Remember those street fights? The Occupy movement kicked into fourth gear. And Murdoch got the pie in the face. And there was much more than that. Hang on a second. Let me see if I got another couple, 3, 4 I can throw in there. No, I got it. There we go. U.S. employment was at 9%. Representative Gabriel Gifford was shot in the head at a public event, right? Charlie Sheen was fired. A busy year. Deadly tornadoes ushered in a year of severe weather. You have no idea. That was pre-Fukushima, those storms. But it didn't stop because of Fukushima. Yeah, 29th of April, Prince William got married. The advent of planking showed up in the lexicon. We had terrorist attack, what they call a terrorist attack in Norway, right? There were 77 people killed. Let me see. The Afghan War, 10 years. Trying to get 10,000 bad guys, 29,000 rapes a year in the military. 22 veterans committing suicide every day, and that's 80,000 plus over 10 years. You had 5 million orphans, millions dead, millions missing, millions in refugee camps, millions unaccounted for. You had, in 2011, though, you had the riots in Vancouver over a friggin' hockey game. And Steve Jobs died on my birthday, great, October the 5th. And that was it, I guess, for big ones. North Korea, of course. Yeah, I scroll back up. Yeah, there was a lot more. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sperminator, Paternominator. What was the other one? Agnomator. Knocked up his maid or something, right? But anyway, let's keep going. Okay. So we jimmied through that. We jimmied through this. I'm not going to get anything to work there, I guess. Nuclear forces, U.S. nuclear forces upgrade, affordable despite high cost. National Guards trained for simulated nuclear explosion in Kent County. New plant cost $16 billion. You had France lost $80 billion. Contracts and transport. You had Egypt faced $200 billion losses. You had U.S. going to spend $1 trillion on nuclear weapons. They got to replenish the tritium every 12 years in the nuclear weapons. Then you got people wanting to build crisis center to control the narrative. We've seen that already. 65,000 gallons of hot sludge removed from Oak Ridge. Too risky to bury nuclear waste near the Great Lakes. Like, if these headlines and everything you look here tonight don't tell you that nuclear is absolutely batshit crazy, well, keep watching. I'll get you eventually. Korean nuke victims denied state compensation, but their own employees can get compensation, right? That the nuclear power plant must close before they friggin' close us. And you got naked beaches. Hey, The Guardian Chernobyl, Vidal had wrote 2006, 15,000 square miles, but the third sentence, for the next 10 days spewed the equivalent of 400 Hiroshima bombs worth of radioactivity across 15,000 miles of Europe and beyond. So still can't eat the meat or drink the milk or sell the land, parts of Ireland, Scotland, UK, 30 years after Chernobyl. Well, Chernobyl was 1/3 the size. Chernobyl was a 30% meltdown. Chernobyl, that's the sarcophagus. You're going to put in a new one every 20 years. You had 3 million children required treatment because of Chernobyl. There's orphanage after orphanage after orphanage. Remember in Chernobyl, they were picking up people with buses off the street for Chernobyl. Let's play that little clip.
When the robots broke down because of the extreme radioactivity, men were sent in to clean up the site. They were not volunteers. They were picked up off the streets and press-ganged onto the roof.
Picked up off the street and press-ganged onto the roof. Under 3% of the children exposed to Chernobyl radiation while in the womb were diagnosed as healthy. And this is allegedly the elephant foot in Chernobyl. Once again, Chernobyl, hell on earth. But it only lasted 10 days, third sentence from the top. This is what chills your spine. That's a frail corpse. And I'm sure this affects people out there who unfortunately had this happen. I've had it in my, one of my friends done it years ago. And it affected me greatly, and I still feel the pain. But it does make you wonder what happened. I knew that back then. I didn't need this person to tell me that. But I knew that back then, because that's what I thought. Rain simulating regions used during Chernobyl to protect Moscow from fallout. And the experts recommended, we call it chemtrailing, but experts recommend saying, now all the countries, nuclear countries, for mitigation, if you go look up the mitigation for nuclear accident, is chemtrailing. Dana, chemtrailing don't exist. Well, for starters, think about the people out, crop dusters. Yeah, the technology exists or not. Do you think that they didn't scale it up? Because they did for Vietnam, where they made it rain over the Ho Chi Minh Trail for an extra 3 months, washing out bridges and cities and everything else. I'm going to digress if I'm not careful. Here's a graveyard from Chernobyl. You don't see that at Fukushima, do you? No, because they ship it over here and you buy it. They ship it over there. Keep it over there, boys. No, they ship it mostly to Taiwan and America. Suckers. No clear answer why so many kids born outside the exclusion zone are sick years after the meltdown. The CNN, disgusting, despicable, maniacal, twisted, demented, heartless, soulless, spineless. CNN. Fukushima, only 7% is Chernobyl. Seriously, dude. Get a grip. Why Fukushima is worse than Chernobyl? 72,000, you say. Well, actually, each reactor had 6 reactor cores. Woo-hoo-hoo. And they're still in the chain reaction, but anyway. 1 million plus cancers, that's all it was, we'd be laughing. God, Japan had 860,000 cancers by 2012. Yeah? We'd be like Chernobyl on steroids. See, each reactor holds 3,400. I think what they meant was each reactor building. I think that's what they meant on that. Each reactor building holds 3,000. That's 5 million pounds. Hiroshima was 1 pound. Have we seen that one? Water with nuclear fuel coming up from the ocean floor. They went out and cemented the coastline, but cesium-137 is the tracer. If you find that much of a tracer, it's like, oh shit for the rest of it, okay? I'm not going to keep going on. Chernobyl, that's them spraying reagents out of the plane. They actually made their own radioactive protective material. They're not doing that in Fukushima. The homeless and destitute and immigrants are not warned, right? They don't understand. These people were out walking on 12, 20,000 Rankins. 5,000 will drop you in about 40 minutes. So they spent 10 to 15 seconds and went home and never came back again. But there were 600 helicopter pilots. They all died. All of them. From radiation. Some of them fell right in on the reactor. And 600,000 conscripted soldiers. Like, time to get up. You got to go out on the roof for 15 seconds. Okay, seems cool. But as your organs are melting over the next couple of weeks, your gland, and the repercussions from that, no matter how long you live, is agony and misery, just like the 3 million children in the orphanages throughout Belarus and Ukraine, full of the most deprived humans on the planet. Fukushima effects may be worse than those suffered in Chernobyl. Anti-radiation herbs like turmeric. Now, turmeric has 1,600 studies on it. 1,600. Let's switch gears. Now, the follow map you're looking at. Well, first off, let me come over and say hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hugs for everybody. My apologies. Thank you, everybody, for dropping in. Fuku, CJ, True Royal, Elaine is out there seeing. Albert, Pam, hi, folks. Jan Brooks is here. I know I caught a glimpse earlier. Censor, Chip. Hi, everybody. Anybody? Shanikin, TTRF. Oh, yeah. Angels Action, delete it. Job's last words was, oh, wow. Yeah, that's right, Elaine. Hi, Karen. Hi, everybody. I haven't got my glasses on. Just Garrett. See? If it does that, I can read your name. Jan Brooks, Miss Milky the Clown. One, you'll find her links below. Hi, everybody. William, just take a few seconds out. Ignoring his hounds. Yes, I did, Pam. No, I'm been through a lot. Gotta come out and burn off some steam. Am Thirst, hi, everybody. Dalamine, anybody I didn't get, my apologies. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Let's get everybody back down. Goldwing, thank you. Yeah, and everybody. The hounds. Blacker. Hi, everyone. Okay, let's keep rocking. Think your rating is bottom. This stock may be for you to. Now, stocks have been going down nonstop for 6 years. 6 years, long time, yeah. Long time. Love you, long time. They steal their money for 6 years. This is what they're doing. They're enticing people to buy stocks. That's why my videos are censored, most likely, because of this billion-dollar machine called the Global Mail. Resurgent. Think of the names they use. Another name they'll be using is violent, right? All kinds of weird words like that. Demand for nuclear energy powers uranium bonds. But the bonds have been going down. But like you see, 2015, 2012, 14, is that they never stop. This map here is fallout. No shelter required in the white. Light red is up to 2 days. But still, see what they're pretending is the radiation is going to disappear, but it is a big cloud coming through. You don't want to be walking through it. But every time it blows forever and ever, it's liberated. That's why cancer has exploded. These are three or more nuclear clouds from above ground detonation. Nations. 15,000 abandoned uranium mines. I must have myself fucking spun around or something. Because when I look that way, it's supposed to be. I know if I screw this up, I'm gonna. Ooh. See how it works this time. Yeah, I see now it works. Now my finger works. It works. This is what Russia was gonna do to America. Back the shit up. Back your shit up, bitches. I'm gonna do that to you. That's the radioactive fallout from Russian bombing America. But this is radioactive fallout from Russian bombing America. From America bombing America, rather. It's where you got all your something spent fuel and high-level radioactive waste destined for geological dispositions. But here you got the tonnage of the used nuclear fuel and storage. Stuff they're hoping to reclaim the uranium, reclaim the plutonium. Cancer in Fukushima, who to trust? So this is a story about a lady who was evacuated, and that whole area was highly radioactive. They have all kinds of thousands of one-ton bags all over that site. There's 30 million in prefecture. The whole prefecture's history, all the way to Tokyo. But anyway, her husband died, and she wanted to go back home. They buried him back in the prefecture, I guess, and she wanted to go back home, and she committed suicide. So the family is suing TEPCO. But TEPCO is so broke, the only thing holding it up right now is Abe. There's a hard picture. There's Japan's future, see? Present and past. These seals and sea lions emaciated along the coastline of British Columbia, Canada are really something, you know? And dirty bomb, they're going to collect the headlines I was showing you earlier. They're practicing for dirty bomb drills, burning money like you can't believe. There's 6 times more breast cancer around nuclear power plants. And we all have this nightmare, yeah? We all have this phobia because a handful of crazies is all it takes. A couple of idiot morons, dipstick, as if there's not enough of that out there. Willing to do it, in the position, ready to do it, wants to do it, hates everything, every species, all 8 million species, always threatening us. Now, since we built the bomb, they haven't stopped fucking threatening the entire planet. Since they built the bomb, they haven't gave us a minute's peace. Since they built the friggin' bomb, they've tried their best just to friggin' destroy this planet. But back here. And we got some short little videos, 40-second videos from the ocean I'm going to play. We have 15 minutes left. We're going to switch gears again. This is me pulling out of the Queen Charlotte's Haida Gwaii. The Haida Gwaii. Now, Haida Gwaii is up. You can't see it, but it's up high, British Columbia, those islands. See, Prince Rupert is to the left towards the boat there. So it's a very isolated place. I have 3 short videos about that. And this is me pulling away from Haida Gwaii from the Queen Charlotte. It's about 380 kilometers long. Once again, I'll give you a better GPS. So it looked really good, right? The weather's pretty good. It was okay, but it got pretty rough at the end of it. But it's about 50 miles to shoot across. So I'm shooting across the principal channel to the top of it. And you can see the bow of the boat, the way it's pointed. And the dotted line along that island, that's the trip down the island. You see where I go across the island, that's where we rented a tow truck to tow me up from Queen Charlotte City up to the top of the island because it was too rough to go around. So I ran out to the most northwesterly point of Canada, which is where I got injured originally 15 years ago in a diving accident. 6 hours a day on the ocean floor. But this picture, that picture coming up, this one, and this one were all snapped at the same time. Not that one, that one. Where the hell is it to? Let me double check. Okay, that's it there. Right here. This one. Okay, this is 23 seconds long. Well, we're 27 miles. 27 miles from Banks Island. That didn't work out. Caesar building. And so we're doing okay. Slow her down a bit. Slow her down. Okay, so that's GPS was showing you about halfway across. There's another one. This one is 26 seconds. Oh, we're 15 miles off the coastline. Slow down to the back. There's Banks Island. That's Banks Island up there. Somewhere. Up there somewhere. Back on course, Dana. Okay. And then the last one is 1 minute and 16 seconds. It's just me chattering. It'll get a little loud at first and then down kind of levels here. I'll try to watch it for everybody. Banks Island. Okay, Zoe, we're gonna make a turn here. We're gonna make a turn in a minute. It'll be a lot better. Gotta get far enough up that rock. We're right down when I turn, I don't drift into it. Holy freak. Washing machine. I got a low speed, but gotta keep the bow up. Gotta keep the bow up. Little kickers broke loose again. Yeah. Another 10 miles I'll deal with it. There you are, you little bastard. That's chaos. That's Banks Island over here. That's the rock pile. That's the rock pile. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. That's what I was going to say. So what I done was I covered the entire coastline of Canada. And this is a amazing picture when you think about it. How far the tide is out when you're looking at that picture. It goes out. And so this is an iconic picture too of Louise Narrows. That's Haida Gwaii, very isolated. And this is what it used to look to your left. Knock me back in there. Move me over in the center. See if that'll work. You can see me smoking. Without the 7,000 chemicals. That's me on the beach here. And the bird here, that bird up there, is over my head, but this, it could have been the offspring of that bird there, because that was also in the same pictures take. These pictures are all in the same spot, pre-Fukushima and post-Fukushima. And you can see the diversity in these close-up type shots. Really something, you know. That's such an iconic shot. That pole is such a well-known shot. It's a very narrow channel. There's a crazy amount of water floods through. It's very isolated. And people came from all over the world to come here and see that magic. To come and see that incredible, unbelievable, inconceivable diversity. You know, when you look at one and look at the other, just, it's inconceivable. It's really, truly inconceivable. These are the same spots. I can get that, but it really is. I really did go there. I really did take pictures. These, you know, just, I'm the worst person with a camera, because how do you take a nice picture of my right? Take the picture of your left. You don't have to be good. You just got to snap a picture anywhere. See? You don't have to be talented to friggin' do that picture or that picture. You just have to be smart and take the picture. But the other ones, can you imagine how bored I was? Every beach was looking like that. And the right of your screen. See the two birds on the right of the screen? Could be the same family. It could be young ones, right? Of the one. They're from the same spot. But these are big. I only seen about 4 of them on the entire coastline of Canada. And you can see the post Fukushima. There's nothing there, only a couple of algae at best. These beaches should have up to 5,600 highly visible species. And like when you go into the rocks themselves, this is what you expect to see. This is what made British Columbia unique. This is why people came. People didn't come to see it like that. They came to see that, yeah? Really staggering pictures, these pictures. And Zoe's the only color, right? And Zoe's the only color on that beach. When normally the beaches would be incredible. They definitely wouldn't look like you could find spots that would come close to that, but the whole coast was looking like this. The whole coast, see, would look like that no matter where you go. Not just Louise Narrows. But Louise Narrows happened to be one of those places that is well known. These are the pictures pre and post of that spot. So you can see what it would and should and could look like and has looked like for millions of years, but now you can see it's never going to come back. That could never come back. That's the end of that. That will never come back. It's gone permanently. And that the people on the coastline are in great danger. That to eat the fish and product from the ocean is very dangerous. Like for sure, no ifs, ands, maybes, or buts. It's dangerous. Everything that is gone, whatever's left, is highly radioactive. Fish will bioaccumulate at 10 to 15,000 atoms, whereas shellfish can accumulate at 100 to 120,000. I've done 5 months by myself alone. 15,000 miles of the coastline. And so when I say things, I have to get the pictures, and I have to get the diagrams, and I have to do all the fancy footwork, and I have to struggle all the time. Because otherwise people say, well, Dana's a liar. He didn't show us a picture now. That's the new one, right? Where anybody can go out there and not show any picture of anything, not do any of the work I'm doing, not provide everything that I'm providing. But they got all kinds of credibility, but I got zero credibility even when I'm showing documentation. Like no matter what I do, they come after me because there's no one else for them to go after. And I'm not the bad guy. And doing what you're doing to me, you're denying everybody, including your friends and your families and your loved ones, and everything you care about, the opportunity to defend yourself, to protect yourself, to protect the things it loves, to make decisions based upon fact, not fairy tales. Hugs for everybody. Thank you, everybody. We're getting back up to speed. It's a rough go. I got a couple of days left for the appeal. They never showed up for the presentation to let us in the building, and it was probably an honest mistake. And we do got the stadium rented for the 30th of October. It can handle 700 people. And so I'll be campaigning here in my community for the next couple of weeks to fill that stadium up, because I never got the opportunity to do the presentation and have those people campaign, help me campaign, yeah? That is just the way it went. And so there will be no slowing down. There will be no backing off. And there's no winners in this. There's no bands playing at the end of this. There's no celebration. There's no victory. But the rest of the planet and the rest of the species get an opportunity. And they can escape the clutches of the evilest things that we've ever seen, the evilest creatures we've ever known, the evilest creatures imaginable, anything to do with the nuclear industry. These people will not relent. They do it for money. They do it for a paycheck. They do it because they hate us. They do it because they hate all the species on the planet. They're the most destructive. Their history will show them to be the most destructive thing imaginable, the most heartless people. These are worse than any war crimes we've ever seen. Imagine. These people are completely out of control. And they don't have any kind of emotion. They will do whatever it takes to silence me because they see me directly as the threat to them getting a paycheck. It's unbelievable. It's inconceivable that people like that exist. They're called PR firms. And there is nothing they won't stoop to. There is no low they won't crawl to. There is nothing that will not let them sleep each night. There is nothing that they can run over your children. They will sleep like a baby that night. And now they will kill this planet so they can have a paycheck for another year or two. It's just unbearable. Hugs for everybody. See everybody soon. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? It's been pretty rough. And you got to help me through this tough time. I need support. I need people to help me to push back for the next couple of weeks, at least till we get the stadium filled up. I'm going on sticks, and I'm just saying to the people out there sitting there with their fingers and toes capable of helping me and haven't, for goodness sakes, step up to the plate. In another couple of weeks, I think that we'll have a movement in the community that can sustain itself from there on out and lectures and everything else. But I still need your support. Please support me. You can find links below my video. Go to nuclearproctologist.org or Dana Durnford at hotmail.com on PayPal. Take care, folks. We'll see everybody soon.